Yeah, raised some eyebrows here, Matthias Cormann, on Sunday Agenda in his interview with you, Kieran, saying that an increase in the GST or broadening of the tax was not on the cards in terms of the government's tax reform out the back of this crisis. Now, New South Wales Treasurer Dominic Perrottet has been pushing for a broadening of the tax to include health, education and food, and or an increase of the tax in a broader push for tax reform. But it appears Scott Morrison and Matthias Cormann are not going for it. This despite Scott Morrison saying he wanted to look at everything with fresh eyes, and tax and federation reform were part of the mix in a reform review over the next 6 months. Let's have a listen to Matthias Cormann.
Well, we're not focused on increasing taxes, we're focusing on lowering taxes. And when it comes to the GST, I mean, we did have a very thorough look at this, not that long ago. And the outcome of that work at the time was that it wasn't in our interest to move in that direction. And I mean, at this stage, I haven't seen anything that would change our mind.
Now, I'm told that Scott Morrison, who investigated a GST rise as Treasurer in 2015-16, is really not too keen on changes to the GST. It's just seen as too difficult a task politically. That's the view of the tax. It benefits the state revenues, not federal, in the way it was set up by John Howard. The money goes to the states. The federal government wants the states to axe payroll tax and stamp duty, taxes on jobs, but does not want to compensate them with changes to the GST. When we look at tax reform, there are two conditions the PM has put on it. I'm told he did so in his recent National Press Club speech. Let's have a listen to that.
You know, you ask someone for their opinion on tax and they can give you volumes. But I'm interested in the stuff that's going to create jobs and create investment.
There are the two, creating jobs and creating investment. Well, economists will tell you that GST and land tax are the most efficient taxes. Have a look at this. This is from a Treasury paper from 2015 entitled Rethink on Australia's Taxation System. What it shows you there, it shows that stamp duty for each dollar taxed, right up the top there, takes 80 cents out of the economy. Company tax, 50 cents. Personal income tax, 20 to 30 cents, and GST just 20 cents. Down the bottom there, land tax, the most efficient of all. It goes negative because the belief is it creates wealth by being redistributed into the economy. In other developed countries, Kieran, their company tax is lower, their personal income tax is lower, and their consumption taxes are higher. Probably for those sort of reasons that you can see in that graph. Yet it seems it's just seen as too difficult to do here. There is the barrier of the Labor state governments, Queensland and WA, about to go to election. They probably wouldn't agree to it. You need all the states' agreement under the way John Howard set it up. Then there's federal Labor and therefore the Senate that's a problem. But if ever there was a time to have the argument, you could argue now or in the coming months or the lead up to the next election is it. In times like now, apart from anything else, the revenue you collect from company tax and personal income tax goes through the floor. There's an argument our economy and the budget needs this type of tax reform and that it could boost the economy and investment, but seems like it's already been ruled out.